What is up, everybody? Jaco here today, and today I want to talk about something that just has me flabbergasted. And before I do that, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it so much. I think we have like 119,000 subscribers, but only get like 1,000 views per video. Not sure why. I think we should pick that up. But a few videos ago, I was talking about how webcamming had slowed down for me increasingly, and it was really strange. I went from having 100 to 1,000 people in a room at a time to having like 15, 30 people in a room at a time. And it's just like so ridiculous of the fall off. So, I looked and I'm like on page 8, and I'm just like, why am I on page 8 if everybody around page 8 has a lot less viewers than me? And I reached out to the company and they're like, well, we're not, taking away viewers or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, it just doesn't make sense to me. So that being said, I was online yesterday and I saw this couple on Chatterbait. They're a duo couple with almost 1 million followers on Chatterbait, and their name is like Jack and Jill or something like that, and then they invite people into their shows. So they were on for about 3 hours. They had about 12,000 people in their room, and then they were selling a show for 400 tokens or whatever it is, and then like 300 if you were a fan club member. They sold almost 1,000 tickets. Then after they're getting ready to start the show, they then say, vote for where you want to see the man lay his eggs. And then you can pay for that as well, which is a genius idea. Very, very scummy, but genius nonetheless. And all these people on my butt, you got to slow down anyways. So then they have to vote. And realistically, after all this, for one show, they made $30,000. Now, obviously, that's split 3 ways. I get that. And maybe the person there took less of a cut. I don't know. But that person who was there was also online at the same time, but like with a background, just playing in the background. That woman was still making money, which is completely insane. But that being said, it's just crazy. It's like, damn, if I could fly somewhere and be part of a show for one night and make $10,000, that's like freaking insane. So it literally had me into like a weird mental state where I was just like, what am I doing? Like, what is going on? And it's so crazy because back to me is people see me on camera that see me when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. And they're like, oh, Jake, you look better looking now. I think it has like this fetish of just young. And when someone's not young anymore, it's like, I don't want to see them anymore. And it's crazy. Because if you're better looking when you're older, why would somebody not want to see you when you're older? And to me, just like, I'm not trying to like throw shade at anybody, but it's a little predatory. It's like, hey, I liked him when he's young, but now I don't like him when he's older, despite him looking better. It was that mindset knowing that he was young. And now that I know he's not young, I'm not willing to splurge or spend or whatever. And I'm not saying that's the exact reason, but if that is the reason, then that is kind of like, not predatory, there's another word for it. But other than that, we can sit there and make excuses and be like, oh yeah, people aren't spending as much. There's new faces every day. There's this, and this. There's people working for less money. Yeah, there's new faces every day. I get that, but not everybody's 9 inches. Let's get that out there, right? One of the things that I can think about may be my fitness level. And yes, I'm not as fit as I once was, but I'm also not super out of shape either. So I'm trying to figure things out. I say to myself, I talk to my partner and I'm just like, look, I might have to do things in order to make it. And my partner's like, look, you could do something else if this is not going to continue for you. And when you've done something since you were 18 years old and you have nothing else in play and you don't have enough savings to start a business, you then have to ask yourself, what's next? What's next? Do I go down the route where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find the most popular male model on camera and we're gonna do the shows together? Or am I going to find the most popular, Twitter follower as a male and plan something together and do something like the Vadim route? Those are all questions, because I say to myself, hey, look, if I do this many times and save up this much money, then I can start my own business and retire from this. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't like doing this, but there's a point where I said to myself, I'm like, hey, look, if I was making this much money doing this work, I wouldn't be doing this work. That's what I meant by that. There's some people who just do this work for fun. That's great. That's great. Fun is not going to put a roof over my daughter's head. Fun is not going to put food in my daughter's mouth. So it's not just me anymore. God, my back hurts so bad. It's not just me anymore. So I can't just say I'm doing this for fun. And then you could say, well, Jake, why don't you, because this has been told to me since I was 18, why don't you go get a real job? And the point is that I don't want to leave my daughter for 8 hours a day for $13 an hour. That's not what I want to do. Because even though I'm not making what I once was, doesn't mean I should just give it up and pick something else and never see my daughter. Like, that's not what I want. To see my daughter, 3 hours a day, the days that I have her. It's not like I live in a household with her. I only have her 60 to 64% of the time. So that's a hard pill to swallow. So I was trying to find something remote where I can work from home while I'm working on camera, or something where I could be answering messages or doing something where I can finish a quota in a specific amount of time. I'm sure I can juggle that task. But yeah, so seeing that on camera just was devastating to me. It was just damn. And let me be frank, let me be honest with y'all. These two women, yes, they had blonde hair, yes, they had blue eyes, but they were in their 30s, probably closer to late 30s. And they were very, very, very average looking women to me. And the guy was below average. And these people made $30,000 off of one show on Chatterbait. That is just crazy. That is just crazy. Sometimes I feel in life I don't connect with the right people. Or I don't connect with any people, but I feel like I should be connecting with the right person and someone who can control a room and know what they're doing. But I don't know. One point of me is oh, let me download Grindr. Let me do this. Let me do that. And it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been in this field so long, but it's also been changing so much that I'm just trying to figure it out. I really am. It's I remember when I first started as a webcam model on Flirt for Free, and I think after my third or fourth year, I started making six figures, $100,000 a year. And then what happened was it started to go. I had one good year, and then it went down. And then I went to Chatterbait in 2017, something like that. No, maybe it was a little earlier. I think it was 2015. And then my income went down even more. And then Model Centro and OnlyFans was coming out. And then I started making more money. And now it's I'm doing 7 different things. I'm working on 2 campsites at the same time. And it's not hey, look, if you focus on one thing, you would. No, that's not how it works anymore. It's almost there was a point in time where I felt like I had to do little to nothing and was still making 6 figures, to now trying to do everything just to try and make almost 6 figures. And that's crazy. And a lot of people might say, well, change it up, do something different. I do to an extent, but I do, custom videos and stuff like that, and things that most straight men wouldn't do, right? So it's very difficult. And I have a lot of people reach out to me. They're like, hey, I want to manage you, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And I'm like, well, what do you need? Oh, I need all your passwords, your information. I need 50% of everything. And I'm just I'm not giving you 50% of all my money, and I'm not giving you my passwords for you to access my accounts. It's crazy. I have these women reach out to me that are quote unquote famous that says, oh, my manager wants to represent you. Why would your manager who represents women want to represent me, thinking they can cater to the niche of my fans? No straight male is going to know what my fans want, per se. Like, that's just how it is. So if y'all have any ideas, please let me know. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, when I went on camera with my partner, it was a little slow, but also we weren't doing much because I didn't want her to expose herself on camera. When we started her, you know, sites and stuff, it was good, and then it slowed down. And it's just so much putting yourself out there like that. With her, I just feel like, hey, look, if she's not making $1,000 a month doing this, then she shouldn't be doing this. And I get it, you have to build yourself up, but I felt and thought that, hey, look, me advertising her, even though my fans don't really want to see a woman, would be able to make her at least $2,000 a month. And if she was making $2,000 a month, I would be like, okay, this is good, you know, progress. We'll work to more so she can make more, and that's it. But that didn't work out, and I decided to tell her, like, hey, I don't want you doing this because I know you have aspirations in life to be something else, to be better, to do something else. So I don't want her to be all over the internet when she wants a job as a nurse or whatever she wants to do. Because if she has potential in a job field and wants to make that money, I'm not going to be like, do my work, because at the end of the day, if her work's discovered, she might not be able to get that job, or she might get fired from that job. So I don't want to be liable for that, and from my perspective. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, Jake, you're just ranting, you're just complaining. And realize this, it's a life. Like, it's more than just me. It's my daughter too, and she's very important to me. And it's very easy to say, oh yeah, just go get a job. That doesn't solve the problem. A job making $13 an hour, working 40 hours a week is not going to pay my bills. It's just not going to do it. So I don't know what else to say about that. Because listen, if you work 40 hours a week, right? And let's just say it's $10 an hour. So 10 times 40 is 4,000. So no, it's not. 10 times 40 is 400. Wait. Okay, yeah, it's 400. And then if you add the 13, that's an extra 30. So it's 430 per week. And then you times that by 4, that's like 1710 per month. My bills are almost $8,000. My bills are like a little under $7,000 a month. So you tell me how that would pay my bills. It wouldn't. And then you say, well, again, I think I made a video about this. You're like, well, why are your bills so high? I mean, my house alone, and I don't even have a big house. I don't even have a nice house. My house alone is $3,500 a month. Legit. So you tell me. It's crazy. So I need a remote job making at least $20-$25 an hour. And that's to coincide with what I'm doing now. I can't just be like, yo, yeah, I'm just gonna do this one job and not do the other. No, I can't do that. I still have to continue this as long as I can continue it, or as long as I have to. Excuse me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope y'all all have a blessed day. God bless.